quite often in business, the actions of a company signals what their interpretation is of proprietary data. For example, Google and Facebook are requiring all employees to get vaccinated, and CNN recently fired 4 employees for showing up to work unvaccinated. And Twitter and Amazon, actually, they've delayed the dates when employees can all come back to work. Now, all 5 of the aforementioned companies have access to a lot of data, and they use algorithms to interpret the data. And professors will say that without data, a thesis is just an opinion and nothing more. So let's look together at the data that Google sees. Okay, and what we'll do is we'll search for how to use Google data for COVID research. How to use Google data for COVID research. Okay, here we go. All right, and what we'll do is we'll click here, and then I'll scroll down to find out more in the portal here. Okay, cool. All right, so we see here on the left side, we see here that the number of COVID cases in the United States, and I'll drill down to different regions in a second, the number of COVID cases is starting to spike again. You see right here? And what we care about is the derivative, or the rate of change. Earlier this year, the rate of change was actually negative, which was very, very encouraging, of course. But what we see now is the opposite, as the number of cases is about to spike to an all-time high, okay, in the United States. And over here, this was April of 2020. Then we had a massive spike around the end of this last year, and it's spiking again here. Now, to be objective and intellectually honest, right here on the right side are the number of deaths, okay? And it's certainly not as bad as it was before. But we don't know about the impact of mutations of COVID. And we can also drill down by state up here and by county to understand why companies are reacting the way they are based on the data that they see. So CNN, for example, CNN is based in Atlanta, in Fulton County. So let's go check out the data there for CNN. So we'll select Georgia, actually. Let me get there. Georgia, the state, not the country. And then we'll go down to Fulton County. And this might explain why CNN reacted the way they did, which I thought was a bit harsh. Okay, so right here you can see that it's also spiking and getting closer to an all-time high in where Atlanta is. Now, this is just some of the data that you can access using Google Cloud and Google Data products. But my concern is actually that COVID, my concern is that Google and other tech companies, they see a much more severe trend on the impact of Delta, Lambda, and other mutations based on the data that we have access to.